Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Bytes, where we discuss all things crypto, DeFi, airdrops, and more. My name's Brian, and today we're going to be going over about 10 different airdrops that I'm currently farming, all having to deal with either swapping different tokens or bridging tokens from different blockchains. Now, with this approach, it does cost some money. So obviously, the best way to do this is if you're just organically moving, swapping funds, and bridging to different blockchains regularly. Of course, you'll want to use some of these protocols if you're not currently using them for the airdrops. But to really maximize the amount that you'll earn, you'll want to at least have some kind of substantial volume on each of these protocols in order to get a substantial airdrop. Overall, I think if all you're doing is just farming these protocols for the airdrops and you don't really care about the bridging or swapping, where this is just effort in addition to your normal bridging and swapping, you can probably get away with spending $100 or $200, which will basically get wiped away over time in fees because there's slippage, there's fees for transferring, things like that. But in doing so, I think that you'd be able to easily make 500 to 1,000, if not more. I made many thousands of dollars last year in 2024 with different swapping and bridging airdrops. So it's definitely possible, and if you're using the right kind of routes and not and using the right assets, then you can really maximize the amount of the airdrop compared to the fees that you have to pay. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right in and we can go through each of these. Alrighty, so the first application that we're going to be going over is called DeFi.app. And basically what it is it's attempting to kind of be a all-in-one DeFi hub where they have the ability for you to basically swap or trade different assets among each other. And then ultimately, these tabs don't work right now, but it seems like you're going to be able to have different liquidity pools in this earn tab. They're going to have a perpetuals DEX here and then some AI related tools as well. And so by using all of these different things, you're going to be earning XP, which are basically their airdrop points. And yeah, so far all I've been doing is just making about $100 in swaps per day. I've only been using this for about a week or so, and yeah, I've gotten up to about 1,200 XP so far. So really, you're just gonna come in here, pick after you connect your wallet, pick whatever assets that you want, swap them amongst each other. The slippage, if you're using like Base or Arbitrum, is pretty much non-existent, so you can get pretty good swaps with little fees here. So yeah, that's pretty much what this one is. All of these are pretty simple, so really I'm just kind of going over so you can see the UI and how it works. So all right, the next one that I just came across recently is called 0x Astra, or yeah, 0x Astra. And so you can see here, this is basically the UI, and the site is kind of laggy for me, so do keep that in mind. But basically with this, they've kind of gamified swapping and interacting on different blockchains, basically. So if you see here, they have, if it loads, yeah, so you can see Berachain, Blast, Polygon, Manta, Mantle, Scroll, Tyco, Optimism, Binance Smart Chain, Arbitrum, ZK Sync, a bunch of other ones. And so basically, the ways that you're interacting with this app are you can come in and basically click on this. There's a button here that says Boost each day. So every 24 hours, you're basically able to come in here and do a check-in. It costs like a penny, if that, depending on the blockchain. So you check in on each of these, and so you're basically having a transaction on each of those chains, and by doing that, you're earning these different chests and materials, which help you rank up. And so you can see here, I've only been doing this for about 4 days. I was maybe like 8th or 9,000 when I started. So I've already been able to get up pretty high. So in addition to doing the check-ins here, they also have what they call Explore. And this is basically just swapping or bridging really, because it's always between two different, you're basically picking an asset and then you're bridging it among two different chains. And then you can see here, as a part of that is they have different missions where they want you to, in this case, complete 5 explorations. That means bridge 5 times. I've only done it a few times. Do it from BNB, do it from OP BNB, do it from Tyco. So they have different quests like this. I'm sure, there's been other platforms that have done similar stuff like this in the past. So you may be familiar with the type of things that are needed here. But yeah, overall, pretty much it's season 1 of their airdrop. I don't know how much this will end up being, but for less than 5 minutes a day and less than probably 5 cents a day, I think if you do this for a month or so, you're probably gonna get at least $100 out of this one. So if you have the time, do it. And if you do it, like I said, you'll probably want to make sure that you're at least got to do it consecutively, because that's how you get more rewards. So pretty much what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do this for the next couple weeks to make sure I rank up as quickly as I can. And then once I'm in like the top 500, 1,000, I'll probably cool off and only use this when I have the opportunity. From what I've seen, this swapping, the bridging is normal. I think it's actually being powered by Jumper, which we'll hit in a minute. So you're not paying some ridiculous fees for the most part, from what I can tell here. So overall, just a cool little app that they look like they're building to help you get like a wider footprint across different blockchains. So that's 0x Astra. All right, the next one is kind of more like a spot trading platform, which essentially, you're just swapping. And so this is Universal X. And this is on Particle Network, which is a new L1, and I believe this is their kind of flagship app on their platform, on their chain. And so right now they're in season 0 of the Party Diamonds airdrop. So basically, they have had a couple of seasons before this, but that was really for people that did the testnet on Particle Network. I didn't take part in that. So I'm not sure how big of the overall party token is going to be allocated to those people versus the diamond campaign, but usually mainnet campaigns are rewarded more than testnet. So I think you can stand a good chance of doing well here as long as you get decent volume. And so basically, let's go ahead and log in here. I'll show you. So yeah, basically, you'll come in here, you'll see that they have a ton of coins, meme coins, regular coins, pretty much across the board, whatever you want here for you to trade. And then if you go into the trade area, like I said, it's pretty much a spot trading desk, exchange. And so you can, pick one of those assets or multiple assets, buy and sell it after you've made a deposit into the platform, and then you are earning. Basically, you're moving up the leaderboard based on the amount of volume that you're trading here. And so one thing that I didn't realize when I first started, let me go to the leaderboard, is that the volume, if you're buying or selling primary tokens, so that would be like BTC, ETH, SOL, something like that, or anything in the top 500 really, you're only getting 10% of the volume of those tokens when you trade. So I started off trading ETH, and then realized that my volume wasn't really going up. So then I just a few minutes before this, in preparation for this video, I started swapping with something in the thousands of market cap, and my volume started going up equivalent to the volume that I was doing. So If you're looking to rank up here, then you'll want to use, swap with something outside the top 500. And yeah, depending on, how willing you are to kind of just wash trade and lose money on your trades, you can obviously do that. I don't know to what degree they are not going to like that or not, but the better way, and what I do, now I'm not going to rank as high, but unless I have a lot more volume, I only have $100 on here right now, but I basically will buy something, wait for it to go up a couple pennies, sell it, do it again. That way at least I'm breaking even on these trades, or maybe even making a little bit of money, while at the same time I'm farming the airdrop. From what I can tell, so right now, like, I only have $100 in volume. I'm 12,000 ranked. There's about 30,000 people on this leaderboard, I believe. And so I look to get kind of in the top 1,000. You need to have about 40,000 in volume. So not a little bit, but also not really a lot. So yeah, I think this could be a good airdrop, especially since this is season 1 and Particle Network is a pretty highly regarded new L1 out there. So that is Universal X. Next app is called Definitive, and so right now they're running their Edge airdrop, which I guess basically the way that you get this is that if you had a lot of volume on either Hyperliquid, Jupiter, or a couple other different perp dexes out there, then you'd qualify for this airdrop. I did have a lot of volume on Odos, I guess, in this particular one. I did have a lot on Hyperliquid too, but for some reason it's showing me that's the reason why I'm eligible. So anyways, I'm not sure how much this airdrop's going to be worth, but in order to be eligible, I do have to do $100 in TWAP volume. I started doing a bunch of just regular trades and then realized, no, it's actually the TWAP functionality that you need to do. That basically just means, if I want to trade $100 of USDC into ETH, I need to pick, like, I want that over 5 hours, 5 days, whatever, and then it'll just automatically, buy that for you over that time, so that you're kind of like evenly weighted on your purchase. So that is what this airdrop's for. This is time sensitive. You need to, if you are eligible, and I think from what I saw, there's about 100,000 wallets that are eligible. You'll just need to come in here, check your eligibility, and then do this 100 volume, and you need to do it in the next 12 days. So this is time sensitive in that regard. I assume, they do have this points tab, which I guess was for their kind of season 0 in the past, but I do assume that they're going to probably, once they do their TG, they're going to have more things like this. So if you like these types of things, even if you're not eligible for this initial Edge airdrop, maybe go and start putting some volume in now, and when they do season 2, you'll already be ranking up the leaderboard. So that's Definitive. Next one's a simple one, but just had to put it out there because it is probably the largest swapping airdrop I got last year, was using Jupiter on Solana. So I do a lot of farming on Meteora and other platforms, so I'm constantly using Jupiter just to do my swaps. So I really just was awarded this airdrop by using Jupiter natively the way that I want to. But if you are looking to pump up volume and increase your airdrop, then you can either do this manually, or they also have the ability for you to set triggers. So trade 5 Sol for this and do it at this price when it hits, so that way, and then if you buy that, then you can go and set something for a higher price, so that way again you're at least breaking even or potentially making a profit as you're doing your swap volume here. They also have a recurring tab where you can just, over a certain amount of time, buy or sell a certain amount of a particular asset here as well. So the Jupiary airdrop is every January. So the second season just ended in January of 2025. The next one will be January 2026, and usually the cutoff is in November of the previous year. So it's March 2025 right now. So that means you have until early to mid-November 2025 to get as much volume as you can on here. Last year, I believe, to get something in the multiple thousands of dollars, you would have needed to have over $1 million of swaps. So definitely substantial. So if you're only planning on doing this for like 100,000 or less, I wouldn't even recommend bothering with it unless you're just truly using Jupiter to do swaps, which, it's a great tool and it's what I use every single day. So if you are, awesome, the airdrop will just be extra. But if you are purposely just farming this, I think you're better off probably going for somewhere else unless you're really looking to, put a substantial amount of volume in here. So that is Jupiter. Next one is a smaller one called Mock Exchange. So this is both a bridge and a swapping protocol. And so, yeah, I mean, they have, about 10 different chains that they support, and they support almost, probably 50 plus assets on each of those chains. And yeah, from what I can tell, the slippage and the fees have been pretty, fair, nothing out of the ordinary here. So pretty much what I just do is, $100 or $200 in swap volume per day. I've been doing that for a week or two now, and I guess I'm not logged in. Pretty much I have, I want to say like 15,000 of these miles, which is what they call points. What you'll want to do is, here's the rules. What you'll want to do is every day, just by making one swap, you're getting 1,000 bonus miles. So, if you want to really try to rank up as quickly as possible, but you don't want to put a lot of volume in, just make sure that you're doing this daily, because then you get the 1,000. Because when I do like a $100, $200 swap, I'm getting like, maybe 300, 400 miles from that. So you're basically getting about $500 in free swap volume per day from this bonus. So yeah, and then obviously you can earn from referrals, the volume here, and then using non-stable routes and some of the smaller chains, not Solana, but some of the not as highly used chains, I guess, on Mock Exchange, you get more points for that too. So yeah, I don't, this, maybe be $100 airdrop. So it's worth it to go and do like a couple hundred each day to get these bonus miles. And other than that, I wouldn't farm this too hard unless, you're really looking to rank up highly, which you can see here, some of these people have a crazy amount. So that's Mock Exchange. All right, so the next platform that we're going to be going over is on the Sui blockchain. So this is actually a 2-in-1 possibility. So the first one that we're looking at here is Aftermath Finance, and it's basically, a DEX where you can swap. You can do DCA limit or bridging on here. And then they also have a liquid staking token called AF Sui that you can stake your Sui and get that. And then they have, with that token, you can go into different pools and farms to earn yield if you want. But yeah, they currently do not have an official airdrop campaign that is running, but they do not have their own token, and it's rumored that they will in the future. So for now, pretty much what I've been focused on is just any swapping that I'm doing on Sui, I'm doing through here. And then the cool thing is that, when you're doing a swap, so you, in this example, you can come down here and click details, and you're able to see and choose which route that you want to use. And so what I've been doing is choosing this 7K route. And the reason for that is because 7K is a trade aggregator, basically, where they are officially running an airdrop campaign. And so based on the amount of volume that you're running through their aggregator, you're ranking up and earning what they call drops here. And so yeah, basically what I'm doing for a 2-in-1 airdrop opportunity is coming to Aftermath, doing my swaps through here, and then choosing to have that go through the 7K route, so that way I'm getting volume on both Aftermath and 7K. Now 7K, they have some additional things that you might be interested in as far as their airdrop goes. And so yeah, you can see here I haven't, I'm at 8,000. I haven't really gotten that many drops compared to some of these people here with hundreds of thousands. And so I'm not sure how much this airdrop will be, hopefully a couple hundred. One thing I noticed, this is relatively new here, is that they actually have these NFTs that you can get where based on the amount of drops, you can basically exchange those drops for the NFT. And they don't say specifically what the NFTs are for, but they basically say that, you know, it's going to help. Where did they say it? Basically, it's going to help you get a larger airdrop, from what I gather. So if you are able to get this many drops, then I think it's probably wise to go ahead and exchange those from one of these NFTs. Alternatively, you can see that, you know, not many people have minted them yet, but soon they said that they're going to have the ability for you to buy these on the secondary market if you wish. Again, I don't know how much the 7K airdrop is going to end up being, and I don't know what people are going to price this at, but given that to get 5,000 drops you do need pretty substantial volume, I can't imagine that they'll be that cheap. But yeah, that is pretty much you know, I'm just giving that for as another way that you can potentially farm this airdrop if you see some good deals on these NFTs when they come out, or if you're looking to just do a lot of swaps and earn these NFTs and then sell them on the open market. You know, you can obviously do that as well if you really want to run this hard. So yeah, on Soy, that's Aftermath and 7K. The last few ones are just some bridges. So not much to say about them. The first one is D-Bridge. So if you haven't used D-Bridge, they've really expanded their offerings since they initially started. They're now in their, I believe it's their second season of their airdrop, and I assume it's going to be coming to an end relatively soon here because it's been running for a while. The first season did decently. I think I was in the top 1 or 2,000 and made 500 to $1,000 off of that. At the time, the token wasn't doing too well at all, but recently they've really it's been coming up, you know, despite the market overall being kind of crap. So I do think that season 2 could be decent, and there's a lot less people farming it from what I can tell. The only downside with D-Bridge is that their fees are quite high. Like it costs like $2 per you know, per swap or bridge that you're doing, and then the amount of points that you get per bridge or swap kind of peak after like a few $100s at a time. So they're really pushing to drive those fees in order for you to get points. So for that reason, you know, I did use them a lot earlier on once I got my first airdrop because it was pretty decent, but I haven't used them too much recently. I'll do like maybe one swap or bridge a week. But I do think if you spend, you know, $50 in fees on here, the Solana to base and really anything to base, from what I can tell, are some of the cheaper fees that they have there. So yeah, if you're looking to hit this, it is going to be more expensive than most of the other airdrops, but I think it's also probably the least competitive out of a lot of them. And since the token's been doing pretty well, you know, this could cook. So just wanted to put that out there. Next one is Bungie. So Bungie has been around for quite a while, and they came out with what everyone assumes is their official airdrop campaign. It's called the Balls, Bungie Balls. Not the best term in the world, but you know, it's definitely catchy. You know, got to catch those balls. So that is what Bungie's doing, and yeah, they're pretty much just another swapping and bridging platform. They do have an old style exchange and this new style. The new one limits you to only $1,000 in swaps per transaction, which is fine. Generally, what I'm using this for the most is I'm using it when bridging from Sonic. They seem to have the best rates there from everything else that I've seen. But yeah, other than that, you know, just put in a couple $100 in volume a week, and I think you'll put yourself into a decent place for the airdrop when it does happen. They've been running this for quite a while, so I'd imagine it has to happen sometime this year, but there's no definitive details as of yet. Next is Wormhole. So Wormhole is in their season 2 of their airdrop. First season was kind of a disappointment. There's a lot of people that put a lot of volume into it, and it didn't pay off too well. And really, since that time, the token's been more or less down only. So I don't have a lot of hope into the second season of Wormhole, but they do have a great route from the Sway blockchain to Arbitrum base and kind of the other EVMs. So that's what I primarily use this for. So I'll do 1 or 2 transactions a week on here just to build up my volume. I still did earn about $1,000 or so on the original Wormhole airdrop. So I think with the fact that season 2 is less competitive, and the fees are really quite great. They're almost negligent here. So I do recommend go ahead and put a little bit of volume here if you are inclined. They also have the ability for you to stake the W token, which I think will also go towards their next airdrop. But I haven't looked at the price in a while. I'm sure I don't know how much lower it can go really. So maybe it's a good time to buy some and stake it in preparation for the next airdrop. I'm not doing that. I'm just doing some swaps here, but that definitely is an option for you to do as well. Next one is my favorite, which is Jumper Exchange. If you haven't used Jumper, it is by far, in my opinion, the best swapping and bridging platform there is out there. And so with them, they have been around for quite a while. They have this XP that you can earn by bridging and swapping on their platform, and they regularly have different events where, depending on your level of XP, you'll qualify for other airdrops, or like whitelists on NFTs or other cool things like that. So it's not clear whether they'll ever have their own token or airdrop, but at the very least, by using them, you'll be getting access to other airdrops and whitelists on other platforms, since they do a really good job of partnering with them. And in addition to just earning the XP here on Jumper, what I also do is I use this to farm other bridges. So in particular, I'll use this to farm layer 0. So you can see here the Stargate route. That's layer 0. Layer 0 is in the middle of their season 2 of their airdrop. The first one was quite nice. Made many thousands of dollars from that one, and I think a lot of people did pretty well on that. I'm not sure how farmed the second season is, so I definitely would recommend going for using Jumper and then bridging with layer 0 as much as you can. The fees you can see are less than 50 cents per, and the slippage is usually very minimal. So I use this really just in my daily use of everything, but if you are just going to farm it, it's has good bang for the buck as far as the fees go. Other ones that you'll see on this list, Mayan, I believe that's related to Wormhole, so you can get some points with Wormhole with that. And then they also have Relay Protocol, which is another swapping app that doesn't have a token. I don't know if they will or not. I don't really use Relay, the actual website. I just use it on here when it pops up. And there's other ones here too. So but overall, the main reason why I use this is I use it for the layer 0 bridge. So that's Jumper. And then last but not least is probably the most anticipated bridging airdrop for 2025, and that's for Hyperlane. If you haven't been farming Hyperlane, it might be a little bit too late now. Thinking that their TG event is probably going to be, in the next 1 or 2 months at most. So if you haven't really been putting a lot of volume here, I definitely recommend doing it as soon as possible. But I don't know how big of an airdrop you'll get, just because it's been pretty heavily farmed and they've been running around for well over a year now. So just keep that in mind. I'll put this link in the description here, but you'll see that basically there is a ton of different kind of niche bridges that are created from the Hyperlink protocol. And so kind of the strategy that I've been doing is I use this Merkle the most because it has the most connectivity across the main chains that I use, and the fees are low. But all these other ones are for smaller blockchains, and so the idea is that if you one, the way that you'll farm this is by getting a lot of volume, and then two, it's based off the number of interactions that you have with the different bridges out here, so and the different chains. So I've put in a swap or a bridge at least once on all of these, and usually what I'll try and do is just every couple of months, really up until this point, I do one. But given that there's not a lot of time left, if you really want to farm this, I would say to probably put in a swap on or a bridge on each of these, at least once a week for the next month or so. But again, unless you are going to be happy with just maybe burning $50 in fees and not getting the airdrop, I'd be hesitant to farm this one just because there's not a lot of time left. But if you have been farming this one, but you haven't been interacting with all these different protocols, then I think you absolutely should, because that's going to probably be a way that you're going to max out whatever allocation you do get. So yeah, that is pretty much everything that I'm currently farming as far as swapping and bridging goes. There is Squid Router, which I use from time to time. I don't know if they're gonna ever do a TGE, and there's a few other ones out there. If I miss anything, please let me know in the comments or on my X post for this. And yeah, hope this was helpful. And this should be, if you're looking for a way to grind up a few $1,000s over the next few months with just a couple hundred, I think this bridging and swapping airdrops are going to be a good way to do that. So yep, thanks again everyone, and until next time, happy farming.